name is Dee. I am your faith-fueled mom, and I am here she goes. I am here to share, the echo stop. Thank you, Alexis. All right, I am here to friend of mine. Oh, she left. Friend of mine. We are trying to get her on here. Her name is Lashonda Jones. She is a physical therapist and personal trainer. I'm actually just going to introduce her now. She's a licensed physical therapist and certified online personal trainer for 14 years. She specializes in postpartum women's fitness and health and diastasis recti healing. As a result of a healing of her own diastasis, she has built an online program to help educate and empower women on how to safely and effectively heal their cores. She should be hopping on very shortly. Let me hop on. My name is Dee. I'm your faith-fueled mom, and I am also a personal trainer. And a little bit about how Lashonda and I connected. There she is. I have been on a weight loss journey for the last 5 years now. And when I first started my journey, I was looking for an online trainer, and I found Lashonda. She was a faith and fitness Black woman, and it was really inspiring to see. I added you. Technology is so annoying. It was really inspiring to see a woman of faith and fitness who was helping other women. So I did one of her challenges and programs, and I've been following her ever since. We've been encouraging each other over the years. She's been a big motivation for me, and I'm so excited if we can connect here online to finally connect, because we've been talking about this, guys, for about 2 years now, and hopefully we'll have the opportunity to do that today. So I know diastasis recti for me, as a personal trainer, I definitely have a lot of clients who have it. It's one of those things that it never really goes away, but you can definitely work around it. And I have a lot of men who have it. And that's one thing that I realize, I don't think people realize. I feel like just our society in general, from just being sedentary, it's happening more and more. And diastasis is just separation of the abs. Lashonda's gonna, I don't want to get any into it at all because I want to give Lashonda all her glory. Physical therapist, personal trainer. She is absolutely amazing. Like I said, woman of faith, encouraging women every single day to move and just making living a healthy life practical. That's what really like gravitated me towards you. I met you on Periscope.
That was a long time ago. Does that even exist anymore?
My account probably still exists. I'm never
know. But that tells you. That tells you I've been a faithful follower.
We've been social media sisters for a long time. So yeah.
But yeah, Lashonda's really great at just making like food easy and simple. She has 2 little ones of her own. And yeah, so we're here to speak about diastasis. We've already had enough time trying to get the introduction going on.
Right, let's get to the party.
I just want to dig in because I've got quite a few questions, and it's something, like I said, that comes up often. I do work with moms. I actually work with I was saying dads too, who have diastasis recti. It's very common now just in our society because of our lifestyle. So can you just share some facts? Because I actually, when I was looking up myths, every myth I looked up contradicted the other myth. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, there's so much information online. It's really hard to sift it out. And, you know, there's people who have great intentions and they want to help others, but they might not necessarily have the knowledge and expertise behind it. So, I have a program, and one of the first questions they have is they say, oh, I have DR. So can I do your program? I'm like, just because you have diastasis recti does not mean you cannot exercise, does not mean that you can't do certain core movements. You just have to get to that level. So can you explain to people what diastasis is? And let's just start there.
Okay. So first off, diastasis recti. I get a really big feedback. Is that anybody else or just me? It might be just me because I'm on both devices.
Mute one. Pick one and mute it.
Oh, muted. Thank you. Okay, got it. All right, hopefully that helps. All right, so diastasis recti in itself, number one, is totally normal. If you are, are we good?
You're good.
Okay, okay, good. I think Instagram is faster than Facebook. So I'm gonna look over here. So if you are a woman who is pregnant, number one, diastasis recti is the separation of your two abdominal walls. So we know like the six-pack muscles, right? Your six-pack muscles are the muscles that run this way down your tummy. So it is basically the separation of your abdominals, right? Absolutely normal, because you have to make room for baby. You have to, you can't squish the baby to death, right? You have to make room for baby. So it's completely normal to have diastasis while you're pregnant. And so those separated abs, in between them is the fascia, right? So that's your linea alba fascia, and that is there, that is normal. And it's normal for that to be stretched during pregnancy. Every degree of that stretch is different for each woman. Some women, it's stretched a lot. For some, it's stretched a little. It just depends on how you carry your baby, genetics, all types of things that's completely out of your control. And so I know a lot of women come to me scared, come to a lot of people scared, a lot of physical therapists scared that they're going to do a certain thing or a certain exercise or something like that to make it worse. And yes, there's definitely exercises you want to try to reduce, especially when you're pregnant. But it's not just about the exercise in itself. But yes, there are exercises you want to try to reduce. But again, it's natural. You have to make room for baby. Okay. So once you have the baby, that's where most moms come to me. They're worried about, how do I fix this? And they're coming to me at 2 weeks postpartum. They're coming to me at, you know, just like fresh out, just had a baby. And I'm like, it's okay. Like, okay, like you're going through a normal response of your body. Your body just had a baby. Your uterus has been enlarged. You have fluid. You have all types of things going on with your body. And so it's absolutely normal. So I tell moms, just breathe. It's okay.
And I feel like that angst to get back is a lot of because of media. I mean, I feel like before you knew, it took time, because, you know, girlfriend down the street had a baby. She didn't snap back, and I hate snap back, but I'm going to say it, snap back like that.
Oh, yeah, we're going to say it anyway.
So, I feel like the media, and it's definitely social media, and just seeing women 9 months in, 2 days out, like, you know, it makes it like I want to get back to where I was. And I just remember, too, when I had my first daughter, funny story, went to didn't know anything, and packed like the clothes that I got pregnant in, like the little teeny cutesy little jeans.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like,
right.
Why can't I fit these? You know,
right. That right there, we're setting ourselves up for like instant like postpartum depression. It's like, why don't I snap back? Yeah, for sure.
So they come to you 2 weeks ready to just go back to where they were.
They're coming to me, you know, just like fearful, like, you know, what can I do right now? And there's definitely, you know, even when you're early postpartum, 2-4 weeks, there are things you can do, but it's not going to be really exercise based. Okay. It's going to be more so focusing on your posture, focusing on alignment, and focusing on breathing, and just reconnecting with your body. All right. And so there's no need for you to rush your body into that. And there's no science behind you doing exercises at 2 weeks to say, now it's going to close back. Because again, your uterus enlarged, you have excess fluid. You can't make your body do that any faster than it's naturally meant to do. Right. So just trying to jump in and like, okay, let me get in the gym. Let me join this diet. Let me do this weight loss plan. And you're just 2 weeks postpartum, 4 weeks, even 6 weeks. It's just like, give your body time. It's totally okay. And you're just going through a normal response. Give your body time for your uterus to shrink down. So moms ask me, you know, when can I actually test myself for diastasis? And I think that's something that a lot of people want to know. Like, how do I even know that I have it? So the way to know if you have it, and this, you don't test while you're pregnant, because again, your body is naturally going to, your abdominals are going to naturally separate. So that's not the time to test yourself. So the best time to test yourself is when you're more like 10, maybe 12 weeks. So again, moms come to me at 2 weeks. If you put your fingers in there, you may be like, oh my God, it's like 10 fingers, right? And that's not the true size of your diastasis. And that's just because, again, your uterus is enlarged. You have the excess fluid, like I said. And so again, I would tell moms, let your uterus shrink back to its normal size. Let's get some of that excess fluid out of your body, and then let's test yourself. And so I have a self-test that you can do. It's in the link in my bio. If you're following me, you can just click the link and then it's there. But it's basically you're lying down. You're just very gently lifting your head up. You're not crunching all the way up. You're just saying, how many fingers can I put in between my abdominals? And so that's going to check the width of the diastasis. And then the depth, which a lot of women don't know about. I think the big thing out there in social media is just like, how many fingers, you know, I have one finger in between my abs. Oh my God, I have diastasis. Like, what do I do? So again, going back to the definition of diastasis, 1 to 2 fingers is natural. Okay, I want to make sure that it's very clear. Your abdominals naturally have a gap in between them. Period. Like even before you had baby, most women when they're walking around, you know, in their bikinis, weren't going around saying, "Oh, how many fingers can I put between my abdominals?" You know, pre-baby, you're not even worried about that. You know what I mean? So most moms don't even know their natural state of their abdominal gap. So you may have been 1 to 2 fingers before. You know, everybody is. You have some natural gap there. So when you place your finger in there, right? Is it 1 finger? Is it 2 fingers? If that's the case, then by definition alone, you don't have diastasis, okay? Now, with further research and helping moms understand this a little bit better, because then there's some moms that say, well, I have 1 to 2 fingers, but then if I sit up, I have this coning in my midline. What is that? Like if I have the 1 to 2 fingers, what is that? So that's where the depth comes in. And so that's what we say, you know, technically, by definition, you don't have diastasis, but you do, because the depth is what shows you the actual integrity of the tissue. Meaning, like if it's not like a trampoline, right? But you can sink your fingers down into there, that means that tissue is not taut, okay? And you want to strengthen, yeah, exactly. And so that's something you want to address, because you can still get coning and have 1 to 2 finger gap. And so I tell moms, don't just look at the finger width of your diastasis. Make sure you're assessing the depth all the way from the top, your xiphoid process, which is basically like your chest bone, all the way down to your pelvic bone. That's how long that linea alba tissue runs. And so you want to check all the way down, the width and the depth, all the way down, okay? Because you can have a gap up here.
Is any one more important than the other? Because that was a big question that I got.
Yeah, we're saying width versus depth, right? And so depth, honestly, is more important because, again, so let's put it this way, and I want to make sure that that this makes sense. So a mom who has like a 1 to 2 finger gap, right? But she can sink her fingers down all the way to her second knuckle, all right? And then you may have a mom whose diastasis is 4 fingers, okay? But she can generate tension. She doesn't have coning. She can actually do exercises. She's functional, right? And so that's a big thing with diastasis, is like, let's kind of get away from the fingers and the, I don't know, what we see on social media, and let's just get a functional core, period. Because you can still have a gap and still have a functional core. And that's why the gap is not as important as the depth, meaning you can actually generate tension. I'm not getting coning. I don't have pain. I'm not peeing on myself. I have a strong core. I can still function, and I'm a happy woman. You can live with diastasis, right? Again, we're going by the size. You can live with diastasis and still have a functional core. And so again, you have to learn how to train the correct muscles. And so, and that's one thing that I tell moms, is that most women, men, and this is why men also have diastasis as well, most women and men do not train their inner or their deeper core muscles. We're training the 6-pack muscles, right? Like we're doing planks, we're doing burpees, we're doing sit-ups, we're doing everything that we see on social media. Unless you're following someone like myself or somebody that's doing something a little bit different and maybe the more boring exercises, but those deeper core muscles, your TA muscles, your internal obliques, your external obliques, like your deeper core muscles, your multifidi, all these other muscles other than your 6-pack. You have a whole lot more core muscles than just 6-pack muscles, okay? And so if you're training those muscles as well, and which again, most people are not, then that's how you get a more functional core. Not doing 1,000 sit-ups does not mean you have a functional core.
And can we also talk about breathing, the importance of breathing?
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. That's like the key. Yeah, I can. Yeah, it's a little bit of feedback, but I can. So breathing is like the powerhouse to you healing your diastasis. And that's why I say moms who come to me at 2 weeks, and moms that come to me at 2 weeks, are like, what can I do that? Like, what can I do now? Breathing is maybe like the most important part, because honestly, like the moms that I have inside of my program right now, like they're in their 2nd week of my 8-week program now, and that's what we're doing. They're like, can I get this exercise? I'm like, no. And some of my moms may actually be live, so hey. But I'm like, no, we can't skip. We can't skip. And so the way that I build my program, the way that I like to teach about healing diastasis, you have to start with the foundation first. And Dee, you know me, I'm a big core foundation. I'm a very foundational person. And there's a reason for that, because if you skip the steps, if you just follow the post out there on social medias, and I like to say even my page, okay? If you just jump on someone's page and just like, oh, it says diastasis recti, let me do that exercise. It's going to heal my diastasis. No. Like, are you working on breathing? Are you working on posture? Is someone actually looking at your alignment? And so when I work with moms, I'm looking at you from head to toe. Why? Because diastasis recti is a total body issue. Your whole entire body is affected and also impacts how you heal your diastasis. And so going back to your question with breathing, if you don't know how to breathe correctly, then you're not going to know how to engage the right muscle. So again, people kind of skip that very important step and they're just doing exercises, but they're engaging the wrong muscles. Your brain is going to do what it naturally knows how to do. And naturally, it knows how to work the rectus abdominis muscle. It's going to lock that in first, all right? It's going to just do what it knows, or it's going to do improper sequencing. And so the proper sequencing with breathing and engaging your core, you want to go from the bottom up. So like your pelvic floor first, then your lower TA, then your middle TA, then your upper TA. You want to work all those muscles in sequence, because if your upper TA is kicking in and you got a rib flare and you got a tight QL and you got, you know, a tight psoas and your left hip is higher than your right, then your muscles are like, girl, what am I doing? What do you want me to do? You know, and you're
feeling it in your hips, and you're feeling it in your lower back, and you're feeling it in all the compensation muscles other than your core, which is your foundation, which is the strongest. So I love this, and I feel like time is ticking way too fast. But I definitely want to continue towards this functional aspect of it and exercise. One of the questions that I got a lot is, and one of the myths too that I saw was that can exercise fix it, and then exercise can damage it. And I understand why there were two myths. Like, I understood where they were coming from. So can you share, because I feel like I've gotten women who are like, oh, I can't do that. I can't do a plank because I got diastasis recti. Their kid is like 10. Okay. But, they just kind of dismiss certain moves. And not that a plank is necessary for anything. There's definitely much more ways to engage the core and, create tension through the body. But can you just dispel the myth of exercise and all those things?
Yeah, so that's kind of large. It's a large question there. And I want to kind of touch on let me kind of break it down piece by piece then. So is there a specific no exercises to do? So let me say this. If you are absolutely brand new to diastasis recti, I mean, you just jumped on this call, I've never even heard about it, that type of thing, then I tell moms, just try to avoid these exercises, okay, right now, all right, until you actually work with a professional to see, when you do those specific exercises, what does your body do? And so a lot of moms have no idea what that even, that's like talking German to them. Like, well, I don't know, what is my body supposed to do, right? So that's the benefit of working with a professional. So there are moms who can indeed do a plank and have diastasis and be able to control their core by learning how to breathe correctly, by working on good form. They can do those things, and it may be one of the better exercises for them because they feel the most tension in the linea alba when they're doing that exercise. Now, is that something that I jump right into with my program? Most moms, no, because most of them don't know how to breathe. Most of them don't know posture. Most of them don't know, don't have right alignment. So we have to still go back to the foundation, right? We still have to build correctly, but that doesn't mean that the planks are bad. It doesn't mean that sit-ups are bad. I do sit-ups, right? But I also did the building block things first, and there's order to it, all right? And so it's not that those things are bad, and that's where I like to take that away. And I would like to kind of just debunk that entire myth so that moms are more empowered rather than being scared. I don't want you to be scared to exercise, because honestly, a lot of times when moms are in my program, that's what I'm kind of breaking. I'm either kind of willing you in like, whoa, 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 slow down. Or I'm like, okay, go. Strengthen your core. Just like you saying, I'm going to do like 1 pound dumbbells forever and I want like the biggest biceps. No, you have to challenge that bicep. Right? But you don't jump and do 100-pound weight and just start doing bicep curls. There's a process to it. And it's the same thing with healing your core. There's a process to it. And so it's no good or bad. So hopefully that answered that question. So exercise is good. It's just making sure that you get the other foundational things first and don't jump to exercise. So meaning, I'm new to diastasis. I want to heal my diastasis recti. Personally, I tell moms, social media, YouTube, there's so many great resources out there, and then there's also some not so great resources out there. But the devalue you kind of do to yourself when you just say, look up hashtag Diastasis Recti or YouTube Diastasis Recti, and you just start doing that exercise, is that you're not getting all these other pillars that are so important to healing your diastasis. And so your colon is going to be kind of counterproductive, because then you're not doing it in the proper sequence, if that makes any sense. So all of it matters and all of it helps, but you got to just do it the right way.
In fitness, every body is unique. There is no one size fits all plan for anything that you do. Absolutely. So having a professional to assess where you are and make a plan to progress you where you want to go is right. Like, I love how you devalue yourself by just searching a hashtag or looking for something for free, because you're worth so much more than that. And this this is about just living a productive, functional, healthier lifestyle. It's not about snapping back or looking cute in a bikini, really, because a really strong core, like you said, prevents you from so many things. Peeing on yourself, just back issues, knee issues, ankles. When you're connected to pain, you're going to be off, and so your quality of life is just not as what it can be. Now, we can literally be real geeky and go whole personal trainer on these people. But you have a program to really help people meet them where they are and then progress them to where they want to go. So we don't have much time. So I really want to, my whole point was to share with people your brilliance and your amazingness, and just so how can people connect with you and just learn even more, because everybody's on my platform, so I definitely want Lashonda. And there's some people who came over from Lashonda's. Hey guys, nice to meet you. Thank you for coming. So yeah, Lashonda, just share your brilliance.
Sure. My brilliance. So first of all, I don't know if Dee actually said that. For myself, I had diastasis recti. And so that's kind of where I began with even developing my program. I developed my program as I was healing my own diastasis. And so I continued to increase my studies, research hours, like up at night, just everything. I wanted to know the myths. I wanted to know the real. I wanted the facts. I needed evidence base. I wanted everything, right? And so it's really honestly started with my own body first. And I feel like that there's so much value to that. When I talk to the moms that reach out to me and say they want to work with me, they're like, because number one, you had it. A lot of them say number two, because you look like me, right? So a lot of moms are attracted to me for that reason. And there's like, you can understand what I go through. So, sometimes, a physical therapist or somebody that you work with may not even know what that feels like, or what it feels like to not, feel good in your clothes. And, I can go into all of that. So that's kind of that's where that started. So the program that I have, I incorporate everything that you need to know in order to heal diastasis. Like, I don't like cookie cutter. It's not a one size fits all. Like, every single mom that works with me, I do a one-on-one assessment plan. First of all, you got to talk to me first. You got to get on the phone with me. You have a clarity call with me. I'm seeing what are your needs are, like what are your struggles. Like, every single mom in my program right now, I know exactly what they hate and don't like about their body. I know where they want to be. I know where they are. I know what their struggles are. Like, we talk about all of that. We talk about nutrition in my program, just because that's an important part. We won't go into depth of that, but that's an important part of healing. Like a lot of women with DR do with bloating. We talk about collagen health with your linea alba, all that stuff. And then again, we do consultations. I actually look at you from head to toe. So like I said, there's moms who have rib flare issues and they don't even know what I'm saying when I say that, but that's a part of what's causing them. Yeah, you have rib flare. Is that you? Yeah. And so just addressing that, you know, telling them specific exercises they can try to do to improve their rib flare. I'm teaching you how to breathe. I'm teaching you about posture. I'm teaching you about alignment. In my program, everything is like pre-recorded in a sense of, this is how you release your psoas. This is how you release your QR. This is how you specific exercise for rib flare. This is specific exercises for this. But I'm looking at each individual woman, and then I'm assessing them. And I'm saying, this is what you need to do. And so what Becky's doing, Sarah's not doing, and then whatever Keisha's doing, Sharika's not doing. Like, everybody's different. Exactly. And so that's the way I built my program, because when I looked at the programs that are out there, and then moms who may have done some of the popular programs, they were saying that I never saw a physical therapist. I just followed these videos. And to me, that's almost like you could have just followed social media or YouTube if no one's actually looking at you. And that's my personal opinion. Take it for what it is. But I found, again, just working and healing myself, I could not do everything I saw on social media. I couldn't do what everything I saw on another physical therapist page. I had to do what was right for my body, so I could heal. And I had to look at, you know, was I breathing incorrectly? Was I doing the right alignment? So if nobody's giving you that feedback, then you're just doing exercise. So hopefully that answered that. Okay, and how can you, I started teaching instead of answering the question. So anyway, if you're interested in working with me, of course you can follow me on social media. As you can see, I'm very passionate. I'm going to educate the crap out of you. And I'm going to make sure you know what's going on with your body. But yeah, you can reach me, reach out to me on social media. The link that's in my bio has my program. I have a free 5-day Diastasis Recti challenge. So again, if you're brand new to this, and like things I talk about, posture, nutrition, all that stuff is in 5 days of diastasis, like my challenge. I go over that. It's like different video clips that you can at least listen to, and then you can connect to my free Facebook group, which has like over 500 women in there now. So they're getting like even free resources from me. Why? Because I want moms, whether you're like having not technical, but actually having financial difficulty through COVID-19, like I want you to do something now. And I'd rather you have like a credible source of stuff to follow versus, you know, just going back out there on social media. So yeah, those are the things that I have. Of course, if you have diastasis, I love to work with you. You know, you get free to message me, have any questions that you have. And so, yeah, that's it.
And I just want to add a little extra plug. She's got like an insider for nutrition as well, because her husband.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have a live-in dietitian. So yeah, I always like go to him like, yeah, so the nutrition plan that we have in there is very much from my husband's knowledge, not just mine, and then my research specifically about diastasis. So we're kind of combined in our efforts of putting that nutrition plan together so that we can make sure that we're giving you sound nutrition advice and stuff like that. So
and
yeah,
that's here, guys. That's she's here. She's a woman worth knowing. She's an expert in her field. I am passionate about helping people honor their temple. And absolutely. I went through, like Lashonda, she actually went through more schooling than me, the proper things so that I could be an expert in my field. And so I just really want to put out a credible person to get information from. And I'm going to continue this. I started this 2 years ago and I fell off.
I love it.
I'm back because there's so many women out there who look like us, who are really worth knowing. And I just want to share their brilliance and just connect you guys to whatever resources you can. Because honestly, I just feel like there's over 300 million people who are obese in this country. I wish they could all be my clients, but that is not the case. So if there's somebody that I can point towards, an expert like you, who really needs to heal from the foundation up so that they can get strong. Lashonda Jones is who you need, guys. So that is it. She has little ones napping, and I don't want to take too much more of her time.
Thank God they're still napping. I was almost here to do this. Her room is right above. I'm like, Lord, please don't wake her up. But she's still not there.
So we're not going to cover any more of the time. I will post a link of ways to connect with Lashonda underneath this live on, I don't know if I can on Instagram, but I will figure that out. And yeah, that's it, guys. Have a wonderful and blessed day.
Hold on before you get off. Yeah, shout out to Dee. Since we're live and we have been following each other, shout out to Dee, because if you are following me make sure you follow her because she's very inspirational. Her story is amazing. And I'm just always just like liking and loving because I'm like, look at you, girl. Like I remember us being on Periscope and I think you had even talked about Diastasis Recti. This is like, God, probably 6, 7, 8 years ago. I don't even know, something then, but you have really come a long ways. But she has a wealth of knowledge. She will research the crap out of something and make sure that she knows what she's talking about. So the information that she gives is really solid too. So make sure you follow her. She's great. That's it.
Oh, thank you, Simon. Yes, we are stronger together. So yes, thank you for your
Absolutely.
time. Thank you whoever jumped on the replay, the live, for your time. I don't know
Oh, thank
when
you all
I'm
the heart, guys.
it'll be another Wednesday and it'll be another woman worth knowing. Be blessed, guys, and have a wonderful day.